Good evening, Dallas Fort Worth. I'm here with, of course, with Mr. Dogba, and this is me, yours truly, John Vower. And just so you know, right off the bat, we're going to be talking today. I'm here, of course, talking with Mr. Dogba, and we're going to be talking as brothers. We're going to be talking as brothers. We're going to be talking as friends. I know it's elections season in our community, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of back and forth. But we thought this was important, right?
Very much.
We thought it was important, for us just to get together and have a conversation and just talk, And I think it's important that we let our community know that we're not enemies.
Correct.
Very
Very
we're not
important.
enemies. That first and foremost, we're family. We're friends. And even though during election season things may get heated, there's been a lot of name calling and some allegations and accusations and all of that. So I think we wanted to appear together just to show that, as a show of solidarity.
It is. Because
our community comes first, you guys come first. And so we wanted to appear together and just talk. Like I said, this is not going to be your typical, back and forth and there's no rancor here. There's no banter. We've decided that we're just going to come and just have a conversation.
Correct.
And so just wanted to make that clear. So I'm here again with Mr. Dogba, who's running for the position of Vice President for the Liberian Community Association here in Dallas, Fort Worth. And we're having a chat. I'm going to give him an opportunity to say something and just to, introduce himself and say whatever it is he wants to say. And then we will come back and just continue. So, Mr. Dogba,
absolutely.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome. Glad.
It's been it's been a minute since we got to sit and talk.
Yeah.
It's important for the sake of clarity as well to let the community know that this is not or in any way a bribe. No.
Exactly.
My attempt here today is to convert John over to our camp. I'm just kidding. No, John is a brother. I mean, he's been a brother. We've had we got close family ties in a way.
Yeah.
From as far back as Liberia. And so when the opportunity came, to sit and talk and have coffee, have a glass of water, and just kind of come to some sort of a conclusion that in the midst of the chaos, there's still brotherhood.
It is.
There's still the community, which is paramount on both of our agenda. And so it is not under any pressure. Nobody paid me to be here. I took at my own time, and I did inform my campaign for the sake of dispelling any rumors.
Yeah. That's good.
It was.
I'm glad you did that. Yeah.
It's not widely accepted, but at the end of the day, is trying to build or maintain the course of family and familyhood within our community. We're not enemies. We may agree to disagree or disagree to agree, but at the end of the day, we are still humans and we are still brothers.
They probably say you're coming in the lion's den.
Hey, that's my name, Daniel.
Daniel, right? Daniel is in the lion's den, right? The Lord, may the Lord deliver you.
Amen. Amen.
No, but in all seriousness, we did want to come and just chat a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's good to clear the air because there's a lot that's been going back and forth, and at the end of the day, people's reputations, are at stake.
Correct.
Character has been there. But one of the things I wanted to say right off the bat, Daniel, is when I look at what's going on in our community now, I'll say maybe the past 3 elections. I'll say maybe within the last 6 or 7 years, right, where we've seen. I don't think prior to that, we've. There's always been around election season some sort of tension, but I don't think we've ever seen it to this level.
No.
That we've seen it, as it's unfolding here and in previous election. I'm not going to say it began with this particular election.
No, absolutely
cycle.
not.
I think,
absolutely not.
I think we've seen it, and it's been sort of revving up, and I think it's just gotten to a place where we, as as big brothers in the community, as men, you know what I mean, as family, as friends, I think it's time to sort of refocus, and help our community understand what this is really about. At the end of the day, none of us win.
No.
If our community doesn't win.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So we want our community to win, and this is the purpose of this. And the reason why I bring up the whole thing of, I don't know, because I've been here 25 years, in this DFW community. And I know some of our fathers who are much older now. I know there were elections years ago that were hotly contested, you know. But I think there's always been, even if it's been an unspoken rule, there's always been some level of, I would say, the rules of engagement.
Right, civility.
Civility, there's always been some level of decorum, and just common courtesy for one another that have existed in the past. Yeah. And I think we have to be careful that
we don't lose that.
We don't lose that, that it doesn't erode.
No.
And so I would say, and maybe you would agree with me, that some of what we're seeing is fairly new.
It is new.
It is new, right?
And I had my take on it. I think it is the infusion of the younger generation, that are being tainted by the existential circumstances.
Gotcha.
That engulfed both community and family life, and so people can. People no longer want to feel boxed in. Yeah. They want their ability to soar, and just allow themselves to grow, and don't want to be boxed in. And so whenever that opportunity comes, where they feel they're being boxed in, they sort of push back.
They kind of push back. And so there could be a slight misunderstanding of the notion of freedom of speech.
Correct.
And this is my freedom, this is my right,
Where, you can impact upon someone's freedom and not even know.
Exactly.
And
so
like the saying goes,
when your freedom encroaches upon someone else's freedom, and then we have to find a way to mitigate. Correct. Right? To meet in the middle. So, but anyways, we wanted to at least clear the air, start with that, okay? And then I have a couple of questions for you, really. But before we get into that, is there anything else you would want to say as far as
No, I just want to state the obvious. My bid this time around for a leadership role is not because of it's never been because of the fanfare. Okay. Because John, if you notice or if you know, there's a lot of work. Yeah. I almost lost my family previous years with the community, but my wife stood by me. Yeah. She stood by me
because one of the questions I'm like, why does Daniel want to do this again? This is I'm like, because I saw what you went through. Yeah. I saw what you went through. I think previously, and it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy because at the end of these events, when you have to spend an extra 3 to 4 hours cleaning up and making sure everything is in order before you leave to turn over these locations, it's not something that anybody will want to do. Yeah. But we do it because we love the community.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, and I think this is a good segue into a couple of the questions I have. I know the elephant in the room, right? The elephant in the room has been, I think some of this started with, well, I don't want to say some of it, as far as, what you may term or deem the attacks against you or the assault, okay, may have begun with this whole question about an account, okay? A certain community bank account. I think it's being made clear, as things have unfolded over the last few weeks and days. I think it probably was clear before, but clarity needed to be brought. That it's not an issue of an accusation of embezzlement or an accusation.
I heard a lot of that.
Oh, really?
I did hear a lot of that.
Really?
And and believe it or not, John, these people were sitting in gatherings. Yeah. Philadelphia. Yeah. Texas. Yeah. In these local communities in the last 3 months. Yeah. And discussing me.
Wow.
And people from those groups called me and had the phone on speaker, and I recognized voices.
Yeah. And they say one thing you don't have to pay Liberian for is
to carry news.
Is carry news, right?
Yeah, I heard them.
It's the carry news.
And I smiled, and at the end of the day, I prayed for them.
Okay.
I prayed for them.
Well,
I am a Christian.
Let me ask you something.
Not just by mouth.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I know.
My life transformed several years ago, and my church has been a pivotal part of my Christian development.
Yeah.
The classes I go to, the training I'm going through, leading into the first few steps of a church leader, those have helped me. I used to be a very hothead.
Yeah.
My nickname in school, the Russian.
The Russian.
Have you ever heard that?
You heard it here first.
The Russian. That is my nickname from high school.
Yeah.
And because I lived in my own world.
Yeah.
But over the last 10, 12, 14 years, I say, you know what? That's not my calling.
Yeah.
I mean, people, friends, people who I went to school with still call me that.
Yeah.
And you got to know me to call me that, And so I had my own dress code. I was in my own zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have all grown from high school days.
Yeah.
We've matured. We got. I hope every one of us are.
Yeah.
But we've gotten families. We've gotten lives, and we're going up there in age.
Yeah, and that's what life is about growth.
It's all about growth.
If you're not growing, right, you're stagnant.
Right. And let's go ahead, John.
But no, I think this is a perfect segue. Clear the air. Mm-hmm. Okay. That may not necessarily be a need to. Yeah. But I think just
and Mr.
for the sake of
Mr. President, I love my president.
Yeah.
He just don't know.
Yeah. You mean
Joseph Chair?
Joseph Chair. Okay.
I respect the man.
Yeah. Okay.
I respect him. I respect his family.
Okay.
And maybe he has never had the opportunity to sit with me.
Okay.
But I've reached out even before he became president.
Okay.
In many ways.
So let's. This
is not about him trying to get me, or him trying, or he having a personal grudge against me, because we're in
because I know you guys have had conversations. I mean, even I know there was at some point in one of the chat room text messages.
Sometimes I just
posted.
texted him to just hey, Mr. President.
But in between there were phone conversations.
There were phone calls
between both of you, right? Okay.
I had not spoken.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Mr. Dogba, just in the interest of time, so we don't run out of time. There's this huge, we talk about the elephant in the room.
Right.
There's this huge thing that had been going around. You saw the back and forth, in the chat room, the chatter about this bank account issue. And I just want to give you the time, take a minute.
Let's talk about the bank account.
Yeah, and just address it, And that's, I think we want to all lay it to rest and lay it to bed once and for all, right?
I'm fine with that.
And who better to hear from?
But me.
Exactly.
And I brought that story as a precursor to this situation.
Okay.
When I took over I had an ambitious plan that I shared with the folks who were part of my team from November of the previous year, prior to election year. And we all agreed that we're going to go vigorously, because that mentality that Stanley had introduced about trying to acquire a building, let's do this. Yeah. Let's do something different. So when I came in with the intention of raising money. Okay. And I've used every resource or resources available that the community had to try to do that. Especially knowing the value of 501c. Yeah. So I engaged other companies. As an example, I went to my employer, and I said, "Look, Mr. Employer, I just took over as a community leader in this very community that we work in. Yeah. I think it would be a good sign of faith, or a sign of support to identify with my organization." Yeah. And he said, "Really? You?" I said, "Yep. I'm the president of this community, and probably almost over 1,000 members or more." I said, "Oh, congratulations." And then they took me around and told people and said, "Look, Daniel is looking for a contribution." So my employer said, okay, as a sign of faith, good faith,
Yeah.
I will be the first to bless your office.
Good.
So he said, go to finance. Keyword, go to finance. Tell them to issue you a check of $500. It can be used for whatever you choose.
Okay.
Went to finance. She said, do you want it in your name? I said, no.
Okay.
No. I said, put it in this organization's name. So from the jump, this money, the first amount was put in Liberia or LCA, Liberia Community Association.
Okay.
She said, you guys are 501c? I said, yeah.
Good.
She said, do you guys have an I-9 form? And I said, yes, we do.
Okay. Good.
So I took the I-9 form from Sis Roslyn. We filled it up. I took it back to work the next morning.
Okay.
Handed her the I-9. She gave me a check. An envelope with a check in it.
Okay.
I opened the envelope, looked at it. The amount was correct.
It's written to
Reading Liberia Community Association, DFW.
Okay.
I brought the check back. Frida was the very first person I handed the check to at the general meeting.
Okay.
Because I got the check that Friday. It was a Saturday meeting. Because I was trying to get it before the first meeting.
Okay.
So I handed her the check. And she made the announcement that as a sign of good faith, Daniel's job has, she made the announcement in the meeting at Conan's place, Euless, 211 Euless.
Okay.
So she opened the envelope, she showed it to the group, At the time we weren't doing no live recording or nothing,
Yeah.
But she showed it around, then she handed it to Sis Roslyn.
Okay.
Sis Roslyn registered in the in the journal. And we went on about our business.
Okay.
First check.
Okay.
Okay. Next time was a couple of years, about just a year and a half later, I got invited to a community event that is held every year by MoneyGram and Western Union, all these money transfer people. So I went to the event in Irving, and met some people, the leadership of these organizations here in the Dallas area.
Okay.
So they said, oh, we're trying to reach out to community organizations, so and so forth. And what is it that we can do to help you guys help our businesses?
Yeah.
Because we send money, and they targeted specific African organizations, ranging from Sao Tome to South Africa. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
So we sat there, we talked, and they said, and then I told them, I said, look, our Independence Day, we have this big celebration every year where you guys can come, set up a table, as people buying tables, on the field, come and buy a table, set up your stuff, and talk to people about these services you guys offer. So MoneyGram did, Western Union did. At the end of the day, they gave us $500 each.
Okay.
That's $1,500. Okay. When the initial amount was given, at that time, LCA never had a scholarship account.
Okay.
LCA had a big Chase account, or a Chase account that had a big amount in it, 20-something thousand in it.
Okay.
So right after I got the first check, I think probably several meetings down, there was a declaration in the last year of Stanley's administration, just to go back, that the large Chase account, which had about 20-something thousand, needed to be separated.
Yeah, have a benevolence and
have a building fund.
A building fund. Okay.
10,000.
Okay.
And then the remaining 10,000 plus will remain in the operations account.
Okay.
Which is,
Good.
So that vote was not done the vote was done, but Stanley did not implement.
Okay.
So at the first meeting, Mr. Goya and Mr. Valar, they re-echoed.
Okay.
And there was a vote.
Good.
So that vote was taken. That's how the first amount got separated from the Chase account, and now LCA now has a building fund account and operations account, operating account. Okay. So when the funds were brought in, it was put in the operating account. Okay. The first $500 because we didn't have a scholarship account.
A scholarship account. Yeah.
Likewise, when the two $500 each MoneyGram Western Union came in, it went into that account.
Okay.
Willie Kamara, Dr. David, Mariah Shipley, they were the scholarship people people in charge of scholarship from the Gates administration that filter or trigger into my administration.
Okay.
So I told them, I said, we need to raise money for scholarship
Okay.
to help our children, even if it's just to buy some notebooks, some, textbooks.
So it's a novel idea. Yeah.
So Mariah said, Daniel, you know what? We need to do this. We need to set a Saturday aside. But mind you, like I told you on our phone call, John, when I took over, the first 4 months were death, one after the other.
Yeah. And
everything paused.
Okay.
No inauguration.
Okay.
You know, I put the people over a celebration.
Okay.
You know, we had meetings.
Yeah.
But Nathaniel, Theo, the guy, he has a shop, barber shop in Arlington. All of us, every single day, for each of those families, we were there at their homes. We helped to clean up the yard. We helped to cut the grass. We helped to bring water and food. We helped to serve people. We were there every day. You remember I even came to you to ask you for us to use this place for one of the families.
Yeah, we did.
McGill,
Yeah.
the McGill family funeral.
Yeah.
You were able, helpful in getting us this place. That's how we had the funeral here.
Yeah.
But it was one death after the other.
Yeah.
So I told the community at the first meeting, I said, look, my suggestion is to put off all celebrations until we can lay our people and show some sign of solidarity and sympathy with them.
Okay.
So we did for the first 5-6 months.
Okay.
No event, none of that.
Okay.
And we did.
Okay.
So after that, we started planning events and going on and going on.
Okay.
Into the second year of my administration, election year comes around.
Okay.
So the general body said, that suggestion was raised by Ms. Shibley. She said, is it possible for us to take these funds, either her or somebody from the committee, but for us to take these funds that you've raised, since we're not going to do any scholarship, put it in an account so that whoever comes next can have this money separate, because this is not money generated from due payment. Okay. So the body voted, unanimously voted. This was the second major vote. They voted to take this $1,500 and put it in a scholarship account. Okay. I took $25 of my money and added it to it. Okay. To be able to open the account so we don't take away from the $1,500.
From the $1,500. Okay.
So if you look at LCA books, it says Daniel Dogba took, or we took $1,500 and we placed it in my name. The check was ready in my name as the president. We went to the bank, Quincy, Sis Ross, and myself, and we put this money in there. Okay. When we open the account, we open it in the name of Liberian Community Association, Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay. Scholarship Endowment Fund. Okay. On the second page, on the line that shows ownership, it shows LCA, DFW, 670 something Gazer Trail, Watauga, Texas 76137, sole owner. Okay. Second line, Daniel Dogba, signer. Okay. The second also says Daniel Dogba, president. Okay. And so we made sure that was done. Okay. So we left the account in there on the day of turning over.
And that's why I wanted to fast forward now, because I think the issue became, the turnover.
Yes.
Right.
At the turnover.
So
that account was listed amongst the accounts
that were supposed to be
correct. When I say turnover, I mean when we left and Joe was taking over.
So
all the asset, inventory, financials, it was on that list.
Got it.
It was the fourth item on that list of accounts. Okay. So there was a section on an appendix with all the accounts: Chase, operating, Chase, benevolence, Wells Fargo, this, LCA. Yeah. Okay. It sat in there. And I posted it in the chat room, and I have it a screenshot of it on the phone. So that's all. That was the last time I heard of the account. Besides, after I took them to the bank, willingly, not under any pressure. Okay. Took them to the bank, did the transfer. So because all the accounts are in the name of LCA, my perception was, hey, they are here. This is the right paperwork. The woman looked at it at the branch on 820. She made everybody sign over. All my thought was that account was added.
Okay.
All the accounts were added.
So you're thinking it's complete?
Everything
it's
is
done?
complete.
Okay.
Until 2 months later in Dallas, Hope, Dallas, we had that time we're still having face-to-face meeting. When Jenny gave the summary, she and Dello gave the summary, a financial summary for the meeting, I did not hear the account
Okay.
mentioned.
So now you're wondering what's going on.
Where's the money?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I raised my hand. I was sitting right next to Emmanuel George. I think I shared this with you before.
I was at that meeting.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
I was sitting
I was at
by
that
Emmanuel George. Emmanuel George, I told him, I said, Emmanuel, they missed the scholarship account. He looked at the paper. He said, yeah, we do have a scholarship account.
Okay.
I put my hand up. When I recognized anybody, at that time, you know, the meeting was chaotic.
Yeah.
He wasn't recognizing anybody.
Okay.
I got off my seat. I went to Jenny. I told Jenny, I said, Jenny, there is a scholarship account.
Okay.
There is a scholarship account that was not mentioned.
Exactly.
I raised the issue.
Yeah, you're trying to be as transparent as possible.
So I raised the issue. Jenny said, she said, yeah, I did see something there before, but I don't see it on the balance sheet.
Okay.
She said, okay. Then she whispered to Joe. And he said, Mr. Dogba, if there's a scholarship account, we'll look through it and we'll report it at the next meeting.
Okay.
And then we all left. That's the last time I heard about it.
Okay.
Until several months down, then Mr. Chair asked about the scholarship account.
Okay.
I said, I told you there was a scholarship account and it's not been reported on the financial summaries.
Okay.
And that's how the process started, you know, about going to the bank.
Okay.
We went to the bank several times with no.
So what was the hiccup?
The hiccup was the transfer document.
Okay.
The same document we took to the bank again.
Okay.
The bank is very particular about details.
What needs to be on it and whatnot.
Correct.
So you go to the bank a few times.
Few times. The first time I informed him that what we needed to do, it was like, is it LCA bylaws or is it the bank requirement? I said it is the bank requirement.
Got it.
You have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to be a permanent resident, but you have to have status.
Yeah.
You have to have a driver's license. You have to have this. And we went first time, no problem.
Okay.
But apparently they could not find the minutes.
Okay.
Trying to get the
that matches the account.
Correct.
Okay.
They could not find the minutes.
Okay.
I was available. Okay. We went to the bank several times. But then at one point he said to the lady, but you guys should have the record. And the lady said, sir, when we scan the documents in, we don't keep paper copy, we shred everything.
Okay.
So it would take research a while, but if you
to find a scanned
copy of the document, you got to go to research, and this is what.
So the bottom line, Mr. Dogba, because I don't want us in interest of time. I think the bottom line is, because we see, there was a lot of back and forth, and as a result of this, I think, it generated, this
unnecessary
this fervor and this chatter, right, in the community, which led to, a questioning of character, a questioning of integrity, and doing the right thing, and that kind of stuff, right? And I think, overwhelmingly, that became the concern, and then of course people who love you, and support you, were pushing back and saying, this is not the case, and and I know one of these days, one of these interviews, Mr. Chair will, be able to come in and hopefully his exit interview, maybe clear the air as well. I think it's important for us to lay these things to rest and help people understand, because it's people's name. In this case, your
personality,
name, your character, your reputation, that is, being questioned. But I wanted to take, like I said, I don't think there's no need to continue with explanation, because I don't want you. The last thing I wanted this to be is for you to feel like you're on.
I'm not.
Some sort of trial.
Right.
So we just want to say to the community, look, this has been a great interview. I don't even think it's an interview. It's a conversation.
It's a conversation.
With my brother here, Mr. Dogba, we wanted to come and just
talk.
Yeah, just talk. And let the community know that we're not at war. We're not enemies. We're friends, and we all have an interest in the betterment and the advancement of our community. So God bless you. We want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. Again, I'm John Vower. I'm not going to make any statement of support either way on this interview, but just to thank you, and hopefully this will help lay some things to rest.
Yep.
Thank you.
And on a final note, John, I just want to thank you, you know, for just agreeing to sit down, because when these kind of situations are pretty tense, sometimes a face-to-face conversation
is important.
Changes the dynamics or the path of these situations. And just the fact that we can sit down in a civil manner and just have you know, a bottle of water.
And you know, I think one of the things we said from the beginning, there's always been this unspoken rule in our as far as the rules of engagement are concerned in our community. We've seen it violated. You know, we've seen it. You know, things have risen to a level where, you know, people get a little bit overly involved and animated and all of that. But I think, you know, the spirit in which we're doing this is a spirit of solidarity.
It's bigger than all of us.
It's bigger than us. This is our community.
I just want to appeal to my team. You know, nobody's being sold. Nothing is being given away. This is not a campaign rally or any attack, but it's just looking at the bigger picture, which is the Liberian community of Dallas-Fort Worth. This is something that we all are fostering, you know, to improve. Amen. And if we can start from 2 people and spread the love to 4 to 8 and then to the entire community, then I don't think we need to have a community. If we can sit down like this, leaders during the war sat down in other countries, whether they liked it or not. And at the end of the day, Liberia came to some sort of agreements, and the war stopped and the bombs stopped flying.
Yes.
So I think this is very healthy.
It is.
John didn't pay me. He doesn't have money enough to pay me, but you know.
Hopefully one of these days I have enough.
You know, we're praying for that. We're praying for that. Yeah. But I just want to thank you all, you know, for who will have time to watch this conversation between John and I. Again, hope you will learn from this, you know, that we love each other at the end of the day. It's not about any individual, you know, self-aggrandizement. It's just
There's
spreading
no animosity here.
No animosity.
No.
I'm not on trial.
No hatred. Yeah. It's nothing but love. But I want to thank you again, Mr. Dogba. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining me. I know you had to come from work and you know, make the trek over here. But I want to thank you immensely for taking the time. And God bless you.
And we look forward to more of this.
That's
John.
it. Absolutely.
Looking forward to more of that. Thank you, sir.
God bless.